Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel Eddie in Reading Land. My name is Eddie and today I'm bringing you my Yule wrap up. Okay guys, so like I said in the introduction, I'm going to bring you today my Yule wrap up. It is a little later than I would usually like to do this, but here I am. And I'm showing up and I'm doing it. So the first thing that I was going to show you is the Oracle deck that I use. I only use one Oracle deck in the Yule period from Yule to Imulk. And I did use 3 tarot decks. And the first, the Oracle deck is called the Word Oracle. And this is by aka Skyweb or Aka Skyweb. I'm not really sure of her name, but this is an amazing Oracle deck and I love using it. I do tend to use it just once a year, especially for the winter time, usually Yule or maybe Samhain. Sometimes I have used it for Mabon, but this is a very primal goddess sort of deck and I really enjoy it. As you guys can see, it's quite sensual and it's at times it's actually quite sexual too. But it's empowering over women, and it's various archetypes of the goddess, and I really like it because you get to see here aspects of the goddess as Lilith, aspect of the goddess as the mother, aspect of the goddess as a fighter, or like this one, somebody who is intimidating. There's a lot of archetypes of the goddess or the goddess archetype that show up over here, or a lot of aspects of the goddess archetype. That's better. And I very much enjoy it, and I love the fact that it's just black and white. It's just a black and white deck. I think I'm not very sure that Skyweb actually drew these using pens. I could be wrong, but I don't remember because I know I have original artwork from her because this started as a Kickstarter, and I hope it's still available. As in any case, I'll just link the website in the description down below. But yeah, the artwork is actually done by pen, and as you guys can see, it's actually wonderful and it's marvelous and it's weird and it's very intricate, and it's very dynamic and it's very emotional. There's a lot of emotion and different emotions that are being portrayed and conveyed in these cards, and I very much love them. I mean, look at this. This is just so cool. And each of these monsters or monster women are so different, and I very much love this. I really like them. But yeah, how was journaling with the Word Oracle? Honestly, when I use the word oracle, oracle, what I do is I take a card for the next 4 days. So I pick this card and then I carry it over to the next 4 days. I don't use it daily. I don't use any of my tarot or oracle deck daily, but I do ask a different question when I'm using this deck. I ask, what does the oracle need me to know for the next days until I use this oracle again? And honestly, this is a very crone energy, direct to the point sort of oracle. But it likes and it loves to see you write, and it likes to make you express yourself through journaling. This is an amazing deck for that. I'm pretty sure that Racing from Almoon 513 would love this deck. I'm not really sure if she even has it, but we all watch her. We all know she's fabulous too. But yes, so here it is, and I just want to show you more of these images because they're just so gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous monster women. Gorgeous goddess. Primal goddess energy. This is what it is. Okay, guys. Let's move on to the next one. And let's show off a tarot that I actually always use for Yule. And if you guys watched my wrap-up last year, this is the Porcelain Tarot version number 2 by Destiny. And, oh, oops, there we go. I really much enjoyed this deck. Look, guys, this is gilded, and I don't know if it has chipped or not because it looks like chipped porcelain anyway. So if you're going to do gilding and it's not going to be matte, this is the way to do it because I don't notice if it's chipped or not. So that's awesome. But this is a very fun deck for me. This is a very wintry deck for me too, the Porcelain Tarot. This is also one of my favorite colors, guys. Electric blue is one of my favorite colors. As you guys know, if you watch my channel, you know that my favorite color is teal. And this does have some sort of teal bias, as you guys can see over here. It's very subtle, and the light's not very much helping. But this is mostly electric blue, and it's a very cool deck, and I mean cool in both the metaphorical and well, I guess I mean in two different figurative ways. It's quite the cool deck, and it's also very cold. Even though it's quite cartoonish and it's quite infantile, and I say that in the best possible way. This deck does deliver a really quite serious punch, especially when you're using it. And I use this deck primarily, there we go, primarily for inner child work. And because it just serves itself for that, and I really much enjoy that. This deck was, like I said, it was quite to the point when I was working on my inner child. Using this deck, it provided me with a lot of, how can I say, a lot of scenarios that from my past that I needed to explore more. And it allowed me to also develop those things and try to get to the to the core of why those things keep coming up in my life and how I behave when something similar happens, in the day-to-day, in the present time. And actually, this deck made me find out that the things from my childhood that are negative or that keep coming up right now, there was another person who also experienced some of these things, and that was my brother. And I thought it was incredibly insightful because I had never thought about that. I mean, he was there for some of these things that were not very positive in our lives, and I forgot that he was there. I am quite egotistical, guys, so that is both a failing and a blessing. That's all I'll say about that. But this is a very beautiful deck. I love the Six of Swords. I love the snake coming behind the person. Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun using this deck. It's an amazing deck. I very much enjoy it. Makes me laugh, makes me chuckle. But it also doesn't stir away from the darker side of the tarot and the shadow work of the tarot. So I very much love that. But this is the Porcelain Tarot version number 2 by Destiny. Okay. So, and then, I'm not really sure if I've shown this deck before. I know that one of the cards from this deck makes an appearance in the Star card. My favorite depictions of the Star card, because this deck has one of my favorite depictions of the Star card ever. But this is the Tarot of the Enchanted Garden by, oh God, I always forget her name, Rosanna Pala. She's an Italian artist, and her artwork is strange. And it's both whimsical. I don't want to say dull dull as in boring, but you see how dull the colors are on the they're more towards the grayscale than anything else. You do see pops of color here. She knows exactly how to use color, and I love that about her. But this is basically a Rider-Waite-Smith re-imaging. I don't like to say clone, guys. This is a Rider-Waite-Smith re-imaging, and for some reason, this is both elegant and exaggerated And at the same time, like I said, it's very whimsical, but it's also very flowy and dynamic. It's a very sort of airy deck, and I very much love that. I don't usually like this depiction of the three of swords, but it's actually quite beautiful. I love that this pop of hot pink against the gray is just genius. And it sort of kind of looks like a circus tent upside down. You see that? She also has these creatures that are quite fairy-like. And I know that they're not technically fairies, but I do see them as that. Most of them, at least. I don't like working with fairy energy, but this is a fairy-like, non-fairy tarot deck that I like. Yeah, I don't like the fairy energy, but I mean, look at this Four of Cups. It's the Rider-Waite-Smith, but look at how like a flower is the botanical people in the deck. They're just gorgeous. They're also quite androgynous. I mean, here we may assume that it's a woman and a man, but they're androgynous enough that you're like, am I looking at two men or am I looking at two women? Are they non-binary? And that is amazing. I love that. This is another one of those gender ambiguous cards that we have in the deck. It's so cool. I mean, this set was amazing, but there's something about the pop of color in the gray that I very much enjoy, and I'm very much like, she has made an amazing job with this deck. I seldom use this deck, not because I don't think it's a good deck, actually. Actually, my husband uses this deck most of the time. He really likes it. It's more soothing. It you know what it is? This deck helps beginners or people who have a difficulty with the imagery of tarot, especially with the Rider-Waite-Smith, and some of the imagery that's maybe not best. This is easier for them. It's easier for people to read with this tarot deck. It's very easy for me to read for this deck when actually when I'm reading with this deck, and the reason why I seldom use it, it's because it scolds me, like literally yells at me. Well, not literally, figuratively yells at me, and it scolds me, and it's always like, you know, you're doing this, and you know what you have to do. This is what you're feeling, and this is your next step. All in one card, guys. All with just one card. It's so funny that this deck is so I was gonna say aggressive, but probably active with its response to journaling is because it just calls it like it is. I love this. I loved it. I love that the fact that it calls it like it is, but it does it in a sort of like in a very soothing way. It feels a little bit masculine, like when men try to tell you when straight men try to be sensitive with you. This is how that feels. Like, you know, you're I understand what you're feeling, but you shouldn't feel that bad. Stuff like that. You shouldn't feel bad because of this and this and this and this reason. This is exactly what that deck does to me. You know, you're getting scolded, but at least they're doing it in a soft, soothing sort of way, and at least it's also providing you with something to do about it. I don't know if I'm explaining myself right, but I just have a lot of fun using this deck. But yeah, there it is, Tarot of the Enchanted Garden by Rosana Pala. And the last deck that I used for the Yule season was the Conjunction Tarot by the amazing Ina Alderit. And oh wow, guys, I have to say, I think I'm going to review this tarot soon, or sooner than I would like than I because I think that more YouTubers should get this deck. It's I mean, look at that. It's so cool. Not because of how beautiful the deck is and how intricate the detailing is on the deck, and the amount of, you can definitely see the amount of work that went into this with Ina. I mean, it took her 9 years to create this tarot deck, guys. So this is a very, it's also quite the primal sort of deck, I have to say. It also has one of my favorite representation of the Three of Swords. This is gonna, spoiler, this is gonna show up in my favorite depictions of the Three of Swords. Because, well, I'll talk about the Three of Swords. I'll leave it. I won't spoil that. But what I was gonna say is, not only is the art intricate and minute, and it's so detailed, but the shadow work that you experience using this tarot is, it feels occult. It feels like you're it feels like you're dwelling into a darker side of your shadow, and it feels up like a process that flows, like a process that's not hurting you, that's not, maybe hurting is not the right word, that's not daunting or aggressive. It's doing it in a very appropriately flow kind of way. How I experience this is like this deck is like being on the receiving end of a small waterfall. It's something heavy, but it's something also that flows over you. You can feel the weight of the work that you're doing, but it's flowing over you like a waterfall. That is exactly what this deck is. And that is exactly how it feels when you're working with it, because this deck is not soothing anything towards you. This deck wants you to develop. This deck wants you to grow. This deck wants you to explore aspects of darker, occult, hidden aspects of your shadow that you never thought about. And it's letting you do it soothingly, flowingly. And I don't experience that with any other tarot deck to this day. I didn't think that I was going to find a tarot deck that was going to do that. I wasn't looking for it, honestly. It just happened that I found it. The other deck that closely relates to how the other thing is that this deck likes to be used only by you. How do I explain this? It's a very individualistic, it's a very independent sort of deck. It likes to make you work by yourself. Like you're the only person who went through this shadow aspect of yourself. You're the only person who knows how to overcome that. Which is maybe not something that we should all do, but I think that some tarot readers out there will be able to do that sort of work, because it's not like you're not asking for help, because you're getting help from the tarot, right? But this is quite the I know what it is. It's a very desk magician sort of work. It's work that you do by yourself. It's work that you do for yourself. And it's very rich. It really fills you up. It's very deep. It really fills you up. So yeah, I that's all that I'm gonna say right now about the deck. I do have a problem with one of the cards in the deck, just one, just one. I'll talk about that when I review the deck. But other than that, this deck is just amazing, fabulous. I love the color scheme. I love the look at the devil. We'll end with the devil, of course, because look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful, so detailed, so intricate. I love it. But there you go, guys. These are the decks that I use for the Yule period. Let me know in the comments below what decks you use for the month of December, or if you do practice the Yule period like I do, and you use the decks like I do for that period. Let me know which ones you use. Let me know if you like any of these decks, and I'll see you on the next time. Thank you, YouTube. Bye bye.